One of these 12 shows just hit a perfect 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not once, not twice. 4 different shows on this list did that this year. One of them is being called the best reviewed show of 2026. Another one just broke a DCU record that stood for years. And the show at number 1? It's not even the highest rated series on this entire list, but I guarantee it's the one you're already thinking about right now. Stick around, because by the end of this list, you're going to know exactly which shows are worth your time, which ones might surprise you, and which one deserves the top spot more than any other. This is Prime Picks, and today we're ranking 12 brand new shows and seasons from 2026. We factored in real Rotten Tomatoes critic scores, audience reception, and overall buzz to build this list. So grab something to drink, get comfortable, and let's start the countdown. Number 12. Lucky. We're starting with a show that critics genuinely liked, even if the numbers don't scream it from the rooftops. So why is it still worth your time? Lucky currently sits at 78% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's the lowest score on this entire list, but it's still a solidly fresh rating, which puts it ahead of a lot of shows that never even make it onto lists like this one. It's a newer release that hasn't built a massive audience just yet, but the critics who have reviewed it consistently point to strong central performances and a mystery that keeps unraveling in ways you don't see coming. It doesn't have the marketing budget of some of the bigger titles on this list, and that's exactly why so many people haven't heard of it yet. Here's the burning question. Is Lucky an underrated gem that's about to have its moment once word of mouth catches up? Or is that 78% score simply an honest reflection of a good but not great show? You'll have to be the judge on this one, but it earns its spot at number 12 for a reason, and it's worth at least one episode to find out for yourself. Number 11, Sterling Point. Amazon dropped this one with almost zero fanfare, an entire season all at once, no big marketing push, no trailer blitz. So did it actually work? Sterling Point follows 17-year-old Annie Jacobson, who's been raised in New York City alongside her twin brother by their adoptive father. Her entire world gets turned upside down when she inherits her mysterious grandfather's private island off the coast of Canada. From there, the show spirals into secrets, family history, and a slow-burn mystery that critics have genuinely praised. It landed a 93% score on Rotten Tomatoes, with reviewers specifically highlighting creator Megan Park's ability to blend genuine emotional depth with a mystery plot that never feels like it's just going through the motions. Amazon has a pattern of doing this with its lower-profile first seasons, dropping the whole thing at once and letting the audience find it organically, and that strategy has paid off before with other shows. The burning question here is simple. Will Sterling Point find the same kind of breakout audience that past Amazon surprise hits have found? Or will it stay a hidden gem that only the people paying close attention ever discover? Right now, it's flying completely under the radar. Based on the reviews, that might not last much longer. Number 10. Lioness Season 3. Taylor Sheridan has built an entire empire of hit shows at this point. So why did this particular season score lower than the one before it? Lioness Season 3 brings back Zoe Saldana as CIA operative Joe McNamara, the woman running point on some of the most dangerous covert missions in the War on Terror. Nicole Kidman returns as the strategic overseer pulling the strings from Washington, and Morgan Freeman is back as well, playing the Secretary of State navigating the political fallout of it all. This season pushes the story into bigger, more geopolitical territory, with threats now tied directly to Russia, China, and Ukraine, all while Joe tries to hold her personal life together at the same time. Critics gave it somewhere between 82 and 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. So here will Joe 2's 90%, but the reviews that came in still praised the show's willingness to swing for something bigger and more ambitious than its earlier, tighter Mission of the Week format. So here's the question fans are actually debating. Is Lioness trading in the tight, personal stakes that made it special for a broader, more sprawling kind of spectacle? Or is this exactly the natural evolution the show needed after 2 seasons? Either way, with a cast this stacked, it remains one of the most talked about action dramas on television right now. Number 9. The Bombing of Pan Am 103. This show has a perfect 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So why isn't everyone talking about it the way they are about some of the flashier titles on this list? The Bombing of Pan Am 103 dramatizes one of the deadliest terrorist attacks in British history, the real 1988 bombing of a transatlantic flight over Scotland that killed 270 people. The series follows the joint investigation between local Scottish police and the FBI as they work to identify who was responsible. And it does so with a level of restraint and respect for the real victims that critics have called both devastating and necessary. It's a flawless 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. But make no mistake, this is heavy, somber, true crime television. It's not something you throw on as background noise, and it's not built for a casual binge session. It's built to make you sit with it. The burning question is this. Can a show this emotionally heavy ever truly break into the mainstream conversation the way louder, flashier series naturally do? Critically speaking, it's completely untouchable. Whether it finds the wide audience it deserves is a completely different story, and that's exactly why it lands here at number 9. Number 8. Lanterns. DC has struggled for years to make Green Lantern actually work on screen. This time, they finally pulled it off. Lantern stars Kyle Chandler as veteran Green Lantern Hal Jordan and Aaron Pierre as the newly recruited John Stewart. And together, they investigate a murder in the American heartland that gradually reveals something far bigger and far darker lurking underneath. Critics have repeatedly described it as true detective with superpowers, praising its grounded procedural approach over big cosmic spectacle. It landed around 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, making it one of the best-reviewed projects to come out of the entire DC universe under James Gunn, sitting right behind Creature Commandos and Peacemaker Season 2, but well ahead of other recent DC releases that haven't landed nearly as well with critics. So here's the burning question. After the rough critical and box office reception of Supergirl earlier this year, did James Gunn's DC universe just find the exact kind of grounded, character-first storytelling it needed to win skeptics back over? All the signs are pointing to yes. Number 7. Sugar Season 2. Season 1 had a twist so massive that critics could barely even review the show properly without spoiling it. Season 2 had to somehow live up to that. Did it manage? Colin Farrell returns as private detective John Sugar for a brand new case, this time unfolding with the big reveal from Season 1 already out in the open, which actually freed the show up to lean fully into what it always wanted to be. Critics loved the payoff. Season 1 debuted at 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Season 2 jumped all the way up to somewhere between 96 and 97%, with reviewers specifically calling out how much more confident and assured the storytelling feels now that the show isn't hiding its biggest secret anymore. The question now on everyone's mind is this. With that massive twist finally out of the way, can Sugar sustain this level of quality heading into a potential Season 3? Early word from the cast and crew says absolutely yes, and fans are already counting down the days. Number 6. Widow's Bay. This show blends horror and comedy, a genre mashup that almost never works cleanly. This one somehow broke the rule completely. Matthew Rhys stars as Tom Loftus, the beleaguered mayor of a small, possibly cursed island off the coast of New England, desperately trying to turn the place into a tourist destination while the locals insist that doing so will unleash something that stayed dormant for decades. Widow's Bay launched with a perfect 100% critic score and a 93% plus audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, and critics have repeatedly compared its tone directly to Stephen King, praising how it balances genuine scares with sharp, character-driven comedy without ever letting either side undercut the other. Here's the burning question. Is this Apple TV's next Severance-level phenomenon? A show that starts as a sleeper hit and grows into a full-blown cultural moment? Based on the numbers and the reaction so far, it's already well on its way there. Number 5. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, Season 4. This franchise has been running since the 1960s. So how is this brand new season somehow the highest-rated one it's ever had? Strange New Worlds Season 4 just debuted with a perfect 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, the best score in the show's entire run, beating out even its widely beloved first season. Critics have said the new season leans even harder into classic episodic Star Trek storytelling, complete with standalone adventures that give every character their own spotlight, all while paying tribute to the franchise's roots in a way longtime fans have been asking for. The burning question here is significant. With only one final shortened season left after this one, is Strange New Worlds about to go out as the greatest modern Star Trek series ever made? Right now, that's exactly the conversation critics are having. Number 4. Silo Season 3. Season 2 divided a lot of fans. Season 3 just did something almost no show manages to pull off in its third year. Silo returned for its penultimate season, and critics handed it a perfect 100% tomato meter score, continuing a genuinely rare upward trajectory from Season 1's 88% and Season 2's 92%. The official critics' consensus praises the season for its masterful dystopian storytelling and its expertly driven character arcs, calling it tighter and more focused than either of the seasons that came before it. Here's the twist, though. Audiences have actually been more divided than critics this time around, with some longtime fans feeling the pacing drags in places. So the burning question becomes this. Will Silo manage to stick the landing with its audience as convincingly as it has with critics, especially heading into what's set to be its final season? Number 3. Furious. Nobody was talking about this show back in June. By August, it was already being called the best-reviewed series of the entire year. Furious stars Emmy Rossum as an FBI agent hunting down a mysterious and calculating female serial killer in a series loosely inspired by the 1987 film Black Widow. It's a genre that's been done many times before, but critics say Furious completely reinvents it, shifting the focus away from simply gawking at violence, and instead forcing viewers to sit with how those acts shape everyone around them. The show debuted at a perfect 100% and has held around 98% across dozens of reviews, which is an incredibly rare feat for any new series, let alone one in a genre this crowded. The burning question is simple. How did a show this good manage to sneak up on almost everyone? If you still haven't watched it yet, you are officially behind, and this is your sign to fix that immediately. Number 2, Reacher Season 4. This is one of the most watched shows on all of Prime Video, so why does it only land at number 2 on this list? Reacher Season 4 drops Alan Ritchson's ex-military cop into a deadly conspiracy in Philadelphia, based on Lee Child's novel Gone Tomorrow. A chance encounter with a stranger on a late-night subway pulls Reacher into a web of secrets that reaches all the way up to the highest levels of government, and true to form, he refuses to walk away no matter how many people tell him to. The season is sitting around a 94% average tomato meter score, and it remains one of the most watched returning seasons Prime Video has ever released, continuing a run of consistently strong reviews across all 4 seasons so far. Here's the burning question. With Season 5 already deep into filming, is Reacher quietly building toward becoming the single biggest action franchise in all of streaming? At this point in its run, it's genuinely hard to argue otherwise. And that brings us to number 1, House of the Dragon Season 3. Did you really think it was going to be anything else? House of the Dragon Season 3 is the highest-rated season of the show so far, sitting at 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, beating out both of the seasons that came before it. Critics have described it as some of the best Westeros-set television since before the original Game of Thrones hit its rocky final stretch, with the Dance of the Dragons finally escalating into full, brutal, all-out war between the Targaryen factions. The performances from Emma Darcy and Olivia Cooke continue to anchor the political drama, while the show's expanding scale gives every episode a genuine sense of weight and consequence. And here's the burning question this entire list has been building toward. After this season, only one more remains before the story wraps up for good. So the real question here isn't whether you should be watching House of the Dragon, it's whether you're actually ready for how it all ends. And that's the full list. 12 shows, ranked from top to bottom, and honestly, at least half of these deserve their own dedicated deep dive video. So tell me, which one of these are you starting tonight? Drop it in the comments below, because I genuinely read every single one. If this list helped you find your next binge, do me a favor and smash that like button, and make sure you're subscribed, because Prime Picks drops a brand new ranking just like this one every single week. See you in the next video.